The lads only went and did it, didn't they? Here's 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United become the FA Youth Cup champions of the world. In at number 1 then, Rhys Bennett. Now, Captain Rhys Bennett, let's give him his full title. Only captain we're going to see at Manchester United lifting a trophy this year. He's from Denton, local boy. It's part of Manchester for those not familiar. Put in a great performance. I thought a memorable performance. Opened the scoring. And a free kick in the first half with a header. Led the line fantastically well throughout the game. I thought his technical defender, it was a captain's performance. It was a leader performance. Technical defender, you could see him challenging high. You could see him challenging in the air. He was dealing with his ground duels really well. He was scanning. He was organising. I was absolutely buzzing watching him. And we're going to talk about Garnacho. We're going to touch on Mainu. We're going to touch on some of the other performances that we've seen. And the ones that are in the middle of the park or scoring the goals, even though Rhys managed to score a goal himself, then defenders, centre-halves in a win don't always get the credit they deserve. And I just thought, you know what, 60-odd thousand, you've just lifted a trophy there at Old Trafford. Well done, young man. Number 2, Warren Joyce. Reserves and academy watchers will be familiar with Warren Joyce. I actually saw Warren Joyce. Last time I saw him was at Old Trafford watching the Rugby League Super League Grand Final in a Salford end. And I got talking to him at the time. He was assistant manager of Gary Neville's Salford City. And I hadn't been following his career. I was a little bit shocked this week when I found out that he was actually in charge of Nottingham Forrest, but to his credit, and I love Warren Joyce, I really do. He's old school manager. He's all about discipline and work rate, and United miss a lot of that, to be honest. And I thought he came tonight with a Nottingham Forest team that came to work, and the talent that's been on display at City, United, at Chelsea, and at Arsenal. Actually, Arsenal's got a sensational academy. For Nottingham Forest to be in the final is all credit to him. He's showing what he's about there as a gaffer, especially when it comes to youth teams. He's absolutely magic with them. He's got a discipline and a work ethic that just makes teams tick. I got a lot of time for Warren. Forest were well worth their spot, so commiserations to Forest. They controlled the game well for large periods. They frustrated. They took the sting out of the game. I thought they played the game really, really well, and maybe it was only the quality of United that shone in the end that just edged it for us. But Forest lads should be really proud of what they've achieved and what they've done in this. I think they've more than surpassed the expectations. So well done to them, and well done to Warren as well. Number 3. Of course we're talking about Garnacho. There was a bit of a sparkle in his eye, and he was the threat. And I think Forrest knew he was the threat. And I actually think he scored 2 goals, right? And roll with me on this one. I actually think he'll be a little disappointed in his performance tonight. He had his wings clipped a little, and not for anything he did. He still looked like the threat. He still looked like the one trying to force things to happen with genuine quality in his play. But I think that Forrest knew all about him. And he's going to have to learn to deal with that as he grows in his career. He is a talent. And talents have to recognise when they're being double marked, when to keep their game simple, and like he did in the last minute, when to go on the offensive and make something happen. I was so glad when he got the winner in the manner that he did, because I think scoring from the spot takes the shine off it a little bit, doesn't it? And I think it was going in, regardless of the deflection. Let him play next week. The kid's absolutely flying. His confidence will be through the absolute ceiling. Let him play next week. He deserves it. Number 4. I was going to call this midfield general, but I'm calling it midfield generals. The lot of them, all 3 of them. There's different ways to do it. And I think the 2 polar opposites, really, Mainu and Howson, couldn't be more different if they tried. And actually Gore, there's a real 6-8-10 thing going on with them. The totally different sort of roles and responsibilities in the team. And totally different personalities of the 3 players. There's Gore just seems to just does his business. Minimal fuss. It's like his heart rate never even gets into triple figures. Just chill. But he's making things happen. Mainu's cutting about the place, smashing into people. A bit eye-catching. I thought many people were really onto Mainu in the game. And then you got Howson walking around the place with his socks down, just putting in balls that he's got no right to put in. 3 totally different personalities in midfield and 3 totally perfect blend of midfielders. And I think the first team has lacked the confidence, the quality, relative quality, to their opposition at least, that these lads have got. They know their jobs. They blend and work well with each other, and they was the reason that Manchester United won the game. We were dominant in midfield when we needed to be, and they provided a platform for everything else that happened with United. And a tricky Nottingham Forest side was overcome in the end. And finally, number 5, the work starts here, lads. You've just written history. The class of 2022 is now in the history books, down as FA Youth Cup winners. Manchester United now the most successful team, or still the most successful team in the history of the competition, winning 11 of them. And it's the biggest trophy you can win as a youth player. It is literally like you go into Manchester United's academy as a youngster and it's drilled into your youth cup. You know all about it. You know all the winners. You know all the players that played in previous finals at Manchester United. You know exactly how important this trophy is. That's a lot of pressure when you're a Manchester United youngster. And we don't win it often enough in recent years. It's been a bit of a gap between some of our victories, and it's about every 10 years or so at the moment. But you lads have done it. Now, it can go 15 different ways from here. You can go on and become the best player in the world, or in 2 years' time you could be working in a bank. Nothing is written from this moment. You've got the opportunity of a lifetime to go down as an FA Youth Cup winner at Manchester United. Some of you will debut and play for the Manchester United first team, I'm sure, and you'll have earned that. Some of you aren't going to make it here. You've got to go and play games. You've got to go and prove what you're about. And I'd love all of you to come and play for Manchester United first team. This is what we're about. Reality says that's not going to be the case. If 2 or 3 of you make it, we've absolutely exceeded expectations. I hope this isn't the pinnacle of your careers. I hope that you can go on and achieve things that surpass this and you forget that you was also an FA Youth Cup winner. But it starts with you lot. The hard work starts now. And for the lads that sitting at the top of this team, the ones that we think probably going to make it, Mainu, McNeil, Garnacho, even Howson, some of these players that we think might have an opportunity to do something in the first team, nothing's promised. You have to outwork everybody to get your opportunity. You've done well so far, but the work starts now. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.